The treated side of this attic reads 35 degrees cooler than the untreated side. Same roof, same sun, same afternoon. The only difference was a $30 sheet of aluminum foil. This is not insulation. It blocks a form of heat transfer most homeowners have never heard of. And in one house, that invisible heat was doing far more damage than anyone knew. The summer sun bakes the asphalt shingles of a standard suburban home, and within hours, the temperature inside the attic climbs past 130 degrees. This empty crawl space does far more than hold up the roof. It functions as a giant overhead radiator, transferring heat directly into the ceiling of the rooms below. Downstairs, the family feels the physical impact every afternoon. While the hallway thermostat might read 72 degrees, the upstairs bedrooms tell a different story. The walls feel warm to the touch. The air upstairs is thick and stagnant, forcing the family to abandon the second floor entirely during peak daylight hours. To combat this, the air conditioning unit in the backyard runs almost without stopping. It hums from mid-morning until long after sunset, fighting a losing battle against a ceiling that constantly radiates heat downward. For the homeowner, this means soaring electricity bills and a cooling system pushed to its absolute limit, all for a home that remains uncomfortable. Thick layers of standard fiberglass insulation sit on the attic floor, designed to block this exact problem. Yet the heat continues to find its way through, bypassing the traditional thermal barriers and turning the upper living spaces into an oven. This continuous cooling battle shows up directly on the monthly electric bill, where peak summer rates can easily push utility costs past $400. Homeowners often assume the solution is simply piling on more fiberglass or cellulose, but adding bulk R-value rarely stops the bleeding. If a house already has 10 inches of insulation on the attic floor, why does the ceiling below still radiate heat like a stovetop? The real issue is why the space stays hot under a continuous summer load. Traditional insulation is designed to slow conduction, the direct transfer of heat through solid material, but it is surprisingly weak against a completely different thermodynamic force. To understand why standard systems struggle, we have to look past the sales brochures and treat the attic as an active testing ground. We need to measure what is actually happening at the boundary layer where the roof meets the air. If a simple sheet of thin aluminum foil, bought for less than the price of a modest dinner, can alter this dynamic, it must interact with a heat transfer mechanism that traditional insulation largely ignores. This is an investigation about testing that boundary, tracking the energy paths with thermal sensors, and finding out exactly why standard barriers fail when the sun is at its peak. To isolate what is actually happening, we set up a controlled experiment inside a live, typical suburban attic. Avoiding lab-manufactured scenarios, we selected two identical, adjacent rafter bays. One bay remains completely untouched, serving as our baseline control. In the neighboring bay, we install a single $30 roll of thin, perforated aluminum foil. This isn't a miracle cure-all. It is a raw material under evaluation. For the test to be valid, the geometry of the installation must be precise. We staple the sheet directly to the undersides of the wooden rafters, leaving a clear 2-inch air gap between the foil and the hot roof deck, making sure the highly reflective, shiny side faces outward toward the roof. We leave the attic floor insulation completely undisturbed and ensure the soffit and ridge vents remain fully open and unobstructed. This ensures that any change in thermal behavior cannot be blamed on altered airflow or framing tricks. It feels almost absurd that a metal sheet thinner than a business card is being given a fair test against intense summer heat. Traditional attic insulation resists conductive heat, rated by its R value. Think of it like a thick sponge slowing down a steady trickle of water, eventually absorbing it all. Foil acts more like a mirror, redirecting the energy path entirely. This is because the primary enemy in a hot attic is radiant heat, which travels in invisible waves like light. This is where reflectivity alters the physics. Clean aluminum foil has an emissivity below 0.10, meaning it reflects 95% of this energy. For this to work, geometry is everything. The foil requires an adjacent air gap of at least ½ inch. Without this space, the geometric view factor drops to 0. The material's touch and heat simply conducts straight through the metal. Even with a perfect installation, thermal bridging still allows heat to bypass the foil through the wooden rafter framing, meaning the barrier is never absolute. And here is the catch. If dust accumulates on the shiny surface over the years, the emissivity climbs, cutting the performance in half. Worse, in cold northern climates, this exact mechanism can backfire, trapping moisture inside the roof and actually raising winter heating costs. To prevent weather variation or cherry-picked data from skewing the results, we wired both rafter bays with professional-grade instruments. We positioned Type K thermocouples at identical, high-stakes measurement points directly against the underside of the roof deck surface, suspended in the mid-bay attic air, and attached directly to the ceiling side joists. Every sensor feeds into a calibrated hobo data logger, capturing same minute timestamps to eliminate selective timing. To verify that the sun treats both test areas equally, an outdoor pyranometer tracks incoming solar irradiance in real time, confirming matching exposure throughout the afternoon. For visual verification, we use a FLIR thermal camera, but because polished aluminum reflects infrared waves like a mirror, standard thermal imaging will give false readings. We manually adjusted the camera's emissivity setting to 0.05 and enabled reflected temperature compensation to isolate the true physical temperature of the foil. This rigorous tracking setup leaves no room for manufacturer marketing claims or bias. We are capturing raw, synchronized data to see if a $30 roll of foil can actually disrupt standard heat transfer. As the afternoon sun hits its peak, the recorded data tells a clear story. The temperature curves for both rafter bays match perfectly until the solar load intensifies, at which point they sharply diverge. The hobo logger registers a 35-degree drop in the airspace beneath the foil barrier compared to the untreated control bay. This isn't just a localized reading on a screen. The thermal camera confirms a uniform cooling effect across the entire retrofitted section. By blocking 95% of the downward radiation, the foil dramatically lowers the thermal stress on the attic floor. This directly reduces the heat pushing through the fiberglass into the ceiling below. Instead of a guaranteed savings figure, the data proves a physical reality. The massive overhead radiator has been quieted. This physical shield only lasts as long as the material remains pristine. While aluminum naturally resists oxidation over decades, its real-world effectiveness hinges on strict maintenance and safety rules. Dust is the primary threat. Field testing shows a heavy accumulation can easily double the foil's emissivity, cutting the thermal performance in half. Physical tears and blocked soffit vents also erode the cooling benefit. Beyond maintenance, the National Electrical Code mandates a strict 3-inch clearance around recessed light fixtures to prevent dangerous heat traps. Ultimately, home energy savings are never a flat, guaranteed percentage. Instead, homeowners must calculate their individual impact based on local utility rates, cooling system SEER ratings, and actual attic temperature drops, turning raw physics into reduced air conditioning runtime. As summers grow hotter, massive insulation isn't our only shield. True efficiency means mastering the invisible physics of radiant heat, not just fighting it with bulk. The smartest solutions are often the simplest ones we ignore. What will you optimize next? Subscribe to Rethink the Everyday.